Hey everyone, Heather here from Inside Out Holistic Health. And just as promised, I wanted to get you this quick, short video to help you get through what my family just went through and what I know many other families are going through as well. Before we get started, I do have a disclaimer for you. I am not a medical doctor, so I do not offer medical advice. I am a holistic doctor, and so I offer health suggestions. So keep that in mind, okay? It's very different from medical advice. With that said, some people say, well, you're still a doctor. And so they're surprised to hear that I get sick because if I'm so into holistic medicine, then they sometimes assume that I don't ever get sick because my immune system is always robust and nothing gets me down. And so I wanted to share a little bit about that real quick as well. And I have a challenge for you to go along with that. But yes, even people who practice holistic medicine do come down with things from time to time. Granted, it is rare for me. It's usually about 1 to 1.5 years, from when my body feels like it needs to purge some things. But my challenge for you is this: instead of thinking of it as being sick, I challenge you instead to think of it as your body detoxing or healing, because that's actually really what it's doing. And so for people who come to me and say that they are never sick, that tells me that they are never detoxing and they are never healing. And the truth is that your body does need to do that every once in a while because we are inundated with toxins all around us. And it is important for your body to recognize when it has reached its limit and it needs to purge itself and to get rid of the toxic overload. So, my body decided that this was the week it was going to do that. And as you can tell, I'm still dealing with a little bit of congestion, a little bit of scratchy voice, blowing my nose a lot and stuff, so I look like Rudolph. But I did make some notes because I'm not 100% clear headed yet, and I didn't want to miss anything that I wanted to share with you. So, we're going to change our way that we think about being sick, because here's the thing: we are taught that we are sick, and the word sick has a real negative connotation, doesn't it? When we are sick, we feel crummy, and so I feel like we think that that means our body isn't working well because it feels like it isn't working well. But in reality, your body is working very well. And so instead of saying you are sick, which would be a negative thing, you should really think of it as your body is detoxing, because that's what it's really doing. It's getting rid of what it recognizes shouldn't be there and what it knows it doesn't want. And in essence, that's healing. And so that's a really cool thing for your body to do. Granted, I know that you feel miserable at the time, but if you keep that mindset that your body is doing something well and it is not failing you and it's not working against you, then that might help you get through it as far as, the mind perspective of when you're feeling really crummy. So, all that said, the most important thing that I'm going to share with you in this video, that is my major takeaway for you, if you remember nothing else from this video, is that only your body can heal itself. That's it. Nothing else can do it, only your body. And your body can do it because it knows how it was created to do so. Okay. Sometimes it needs a little support along the way, just so that it can help you not feel so crummy while it's doing all the things it needs to do. And that's why I decided to create this video, so that you would have the support that you need if and when you face a situation like my family did over the last couple of weeks. All right. So, this is what else I wanted to share with you too, that what I'm going to share with you is what worked for my family based on our symptom pictures. Okay. So what that means is what I'm sharing with you, it doesn't mean that that will necessarily work for your family as well. If you are experiencing a lot of the same symptoms we were, then likely a lot of this will support your body well. But I can't guarantee that any of this is going to work for you as beautifully as it did for us, because each person has a unique symptom picture. This is why I do not believe in a one size fits all approach to healthcare. And this is also why I don't believe in protocols, because that's handling everyone in the same way. And really, each one of you has a unique set of symptoms, mental, physical, emotional, that all play into when your body is trying to purge things and to heal itself. So, if that makes sense, I'm going to go ahead and share with you based on all the different symptoms we have had. Here we go. Beginning with congestion. Okay. Now, what I have found to be very helpful is with the congestion, this can be for anyone of any age, right? Is number one, when the house is kept at too high of a heat temperature in the winter, it's blowing that dry heat out of your vents unless you have a whole home humidifier. And so I suggest that you keep the heat a bit low. Granted, you don't want to be cold, okay, but to keep it a little bit cooler in your home. It depends on the size of your home as well, of course, but we keep ours around 68, 69 in the winter. But then also for congestion, I'm sure you've heard of this before, but we do where you steam up the bathroom, keep the door closed, put the shower on as hot as the water will go, and then you keep the door closed and let the room fill up with steam. Okay, wait a few minutes, then you go in there, you could turn off the water, and you sit in that steam for about 5 to 10 minutes, as long as you can handle it and you're not feeling weak from being in there. Okay. There are a few things you could do while you are in this steam. Number one is when the water is running in the shower, you could use either like a peppermint. We use peppermint Castile soap, and I put a couple of pumps of the soap onto the shower floor. So when the water from the shower head hits the shower floor, then the peppermint soap, the scent of it, is airborne, and that fills the room along with the steam. This is a wonderful way to open up all of the nasal passages and to just help with congestion, help you to breathe better. So we do that. The second thing we do, it's a little bit harder to do on yourself, but you can, is percussion. And so you cup your hand and you do percussion on your lungs, both of your lungs, okay, in the front. And then the back is where it's harder if you're alone. But this is wonderful for children as well. If you could do some percussion on them while they're in the steam, in the front and also in the back. If they cough at that time, that's sometimes even better. And so if they have coughing spells, make sure you're doing the percussion. The goal is to break up the mucus that's causing the congestion and to make sure that it doesn't go further down into their respiratory tract. In our case, it mostly stayed all in our throats. So also for congestion, sleeping elevated. When you lay down, your lungs flatten out a little bit, if you will. And so staying up, raised up a little bit, 2 pillows instead of 1, sometimes is more helpful as well as far as breathing's concerned. Staying hydrated is going to help keep passages open as well. And lymphatic massage. This is one that my son loves when he is feeling congested. And so I can show you very quickly how to do that. There are many ways you could do a YouTube video, but what I do in general is we start by the collarbone and we tap a few times, and then you come down 5 times down the side. Now, why do we do this? You don't have to press very hard. It's because we want to keep the lymph moving. We have a lot of lymph nodes in this area of the body, okay? And so we want to keep the lymph moving because your lymphatic system essentially is your immune system. It's what keeps the toxins moving out of the body, okay? Coupled with hydration, when you drink the water, then you're able to expel either through sweating or from urination, okay? And that's how we get the toxins out of the body. So 5 times down, then you tap, tap, tap again. Then you're going to come from behind the ear and you're going to move forward because there's a lot of lymph nodes here as well, 5 times. And then This one again, 5 times. Tap, tap, tap. Then you're going to move to the side of your nose and massage out to under your ear 5 times. Then forward 5 times and back down 5 times. Tap, tap, tap. The last part, you're going to go from the center of your forehead around your temple into the back part of your ear 5 times. Then again from your nose to the back of your ear 5 times. From the back of your ear to the front of your neck 5 times. And then down your neck 5 times and tap, tap, tap. Then you're going to do the other side. Okay? It's a wonderful way to keep the lymph flowing in this part of your face and for congestion and things of that nature. So, runny nose. Now, it's ironic to me and frustrating at the same time, but you could have congestion in your nose, but it could also be running. Running is very annoying, but it's a really good thing because you want everything to work its way out of your body. That's the only way to get better. Okay. So what do we do for that? Well, if your nose is running, of course, we blow our nose. But the caveat for that is that you don't blow your nose very hard. When you do that, you cause the nasal passages to get inflamed. And if they're inflamed, then they're swollen. And if they're swollen, that causes more congestion. So you hold one side of your nostril and you blow. And you hold the other side and you blow, but not too hard. Now, if you're needing to blow your nose all the time, you could get chapped around your nostrils. And so we use shea butter. This is my shea butter, okay? And so you could just rub a little bit of that around your nostrils to keep the area moist and from drying out. Also, it's important to me what we use to blow our nose with, because anything that's near your nasal passage, those are mucous membranes that are going to bring stuff back in or out. So I'm very careful with what I put near our face. And I love, these are 100% cotton wipes, and they're dry wipes. You could make them wet and blow your nose that way, or you can use them dry to blow your nose. I find with the kids, the littler they are, if you use them as wet wipes, it's easier to clean them up if they have a lot of drainage going on. So also, again, you want to stay hydrated, because the more hydrated you are, the thinner the mucus is. And so the stuff that's going to drain out of you is going to be thinner and more runny. And although that might be annoying, it's best, and you want it out of your face. So now, I keep mentioning staying hydrated. And of course, this is most important, right? To be hydrated along with rest. When you're sick, rest, okay? The body needs to use all the energy it has to heal itself. It takes a lot of energy, so you need to rest. But when you're drinking a lot of water, then you could also flush electrolytes out of your body. When you are having a fever and you are sweating, then you could flush electrolytes out of your body. When you are vomiting or having diarrhea, then you could also flush electrolytes out of your body. So there are different ways that you can help balance. And one of them would be either just putting a pinch of salt on your tongue, something that simple, once a day, putting a pinch of salt in your water, Celtic salt, sea salt, in your water, and drinking that. Or I love coconut water. I don't have any to show you, but I use Harmless Harvest brand. I like it. Coconut water, just one container, one bottle of that a day, and that will give you naturally occurring electrolytes and help you to stay hydrated. Or if you like watermelon water, some people don't like coconut. If you like watermelon better, you could do watermelon water, and just one bottle of those drinks a day will help replenish your electrolytes naturally. It's also so much better than Gatorade because there are no added ingredients that are harmful, and you don't want to take in anything that's going to give the body extra burden, because it will be that much harder for the body to fight what it's trying to get rid of. So we don't want to add insult to injury. So the cough. Okay. Coughs can last a very long time, and they are usually the last thing to leave at the end of the body getting rid of what it doesn't want. And the body's continuing to get rid of through the cough. It's also a way to make sure that the lungs stay clear in some cases. And so, what do I like for a cough? Well, for coughing spells, there is something called bromelain that's in pineapple. And so I have to show you, I love Lakewood organic pineapple juice. The reason I love this is because there are no other ingredients. A lot of juices have sugar in them. You don't want sugar when you're not feeling well because sugar will just make you worse. Okay. But anyhow, pineapple juice is wonderful for helping with a cough. Also, local raw honey. Local raw honey, it's soothing and it's also healing. It could also help with a cough. And third but not least of these would be homeopathy. Now, there are so many cough remedies, and so it would be silly for me to just list them all off to you because it really matters what your symptom picture is. That's how you match the homeopathic remedy. And so what I can tell you is that in general, when I think of a dry cough, I think of Drosera. When I think of a rattly cough, I think of Ant Tart. When I think of a barking cough, I think of Spongiatosta, and there are many others. When I think of a cough that leads to either dry heaving or vomiting, then I think of Ipecac. These are just a few remedies for you. I suggest keeping them all on hand because each one of us needed a different remedy in my house based on our symptom pictures. So those are homeopathic remedies for coughs. Loss of smell and taste. Unfortunately, I experienced this yesterday evening, and I'm happy to report that I have my sense of smell and taste back. Now, this was a big thing during the COVID pandemic, right? Everybody was terrified because if they lost their sense of smell or taste, then, oh my gosh, I must have COVID. This is a very common symptom to have. Think about it. When you have congestion and your nose is plugged and your throat is, full of mucus, and it's a very common symptom. But there are things that you could do to help with that. Sometimes it can be related to a lack of zinc in your diet. So you could take zinc as a supplement if that occurs. Zinc is a great immune booster as well. You could take homeopathy, and this is what I did last night. Now, there are many remedies for loss of the sense of smell and taste, but my symptom picture needed Nux vomica in particular. I took 1 dose of it last night. I went to bed. I woke up this morning. I still couldn't smell or taste, but I also started trying to regain those senses. And how do you do that? Well, number one, you have to stay hydrated. If you're dehydrated, then it's a lot harder to get these senses working again. So you stay hydrated, and then you practice. So if you have coffee in the house, you smell the coffee grounds. Even though you can't smell them, you practice. If you have lemons, you practice smelling those. Oranges, citrus, and also peppermint, which is wonderful for when you're doing the steam bath that I mentioned earlier. So you practice smelling these things. And I did that every hour, and I kept hydrating. And sure enough, I do have both senses back. So it was very short-lived for me. Vomiting. Okay. So I'm not talking about vomiting from a gastrointestinal illness like norovirus and things of that nature, stomach flu as they call it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you cough so hard, and children in particular, when you are coughing so hard that it causes you to vomit. I have 2 answers for that. One is homeopathy again, and there are many remedies for it. But I mentioned earlier, Ipecac is one that comes to mind. So also, let me reach over and show you. We also keep, I don't know if your home has these, but these are called emesis bags. Okay, these are a godsend. I don't know about you, but when I was a child, maybe it's just my family, but when I was a child, we had a bucket. Well, this goes back many, many years ago, but we just had a bucket. These emesis bags are wonderful because you can keep one on the bed and the child can very quickly and easily vomit into it and you can dispose of it very quickly. You're not cleaning out a bucket or disposing of the, stuff that's in the bucket and things like that. So we always have those on hand. Keep them in your car, keep them in the bedroom, keep them everywhere. And as far as sore throats go, now this is very common. Sore throats usually come at the beginning of not feeling well. It's usually like a first sign, that and a fever usually. And they don't last very long. So you could certainly suffer through it, but I don't suggest that because you don't have to. What we do is every morning we start with a glass of lemon honey water. And so you have 8 ounces of room temperature water, a teaspoon of raw local honey, and then you have a lemon and you cut it up into 8 slices. You only take one of those slices and you squeeze it into the water. You let it all get mixed together and then you drink that to start your day. It's a wonderful way to help with a sore throat. It's also a wonderful way to activate your liver. Your liver is a major detox organ, the major detox organ of your body. And so it activates the liver to do its job well. And it helps to alkalize your body as well, which is great. So frozen superfoods, like I always have on hand, organic, wild blueberries. They taste fantastic, but they are so good for you. And when they are frozen, the benefits of them are even more beneficial. So sucking on cold fruit, superfoods like that tend to be very helpful as well during the sore throat phase. And last but not least, we have homeopathy again. Let's get to fevers. Okay. So for a fever, I was raised in an era where we were told to fear the fever, right? And do everything you can to bring that fever down. And I think that now it's become more common knowledge that we don't fight the fever. We support the person who has the fever. And the body knows how not to reach an extremely high temperature that is going to do damage to you. The body doesn't want to damage itself, okay? Granted, there are extreme outlier situations where, things like that can occur. Very rare in most cases. The body is going to fight and fight well. And what happens is the temperature rises. It causes everything to speed up. So breathing will be a bit quicker. Heart rate will be a bit faster. But the body is speeding up so that it can kill the toxins inside of it. It knows exactly what it's doing. It's meant to do it. So what can you do during a fever? Well, you can use homeopathy again. There are a lot of homeopathy remedies as well. Aconite is one, belladonna, ferrum phos, stramonium. These are for all different kinds of fevers. You could keep all of them on hand, or, if you want more guidance on that, then you can message me after and I can explain more. But what the homeopathy does is it just helps you to support your body in working through the fever. It is not meant to reduce the fever. It's meant to help give the body support and get through the miserableness of having a fever. Okay. Also, we have a room temperature rag that I love to use on my children when they are feeling very hot. It's just cool and soothing to the body to help as well. We also don't want to put on layers of blankets that are just going to make you hotter. Some people feel like it will help them break the fever quicker. Again, you're not trying to fight the body or cause it to do anything that isn't in its own time. We just want to feel comfortable through it. And so also my suggestion is I love our linen sheets. Okay, there are also ways to boost your body's immune system when you aren't feeling well. And how you could do this is through vitamin C powder. This is my favorite. I love products that are food-based. The only ingredient in this product is acerola cherries. And if you don't know about the insane benefits of acerola cherries, then let me know and I will send you all the details. This is another superfood, like the wild blueberries. That is one of them. We have D cream. I don't know where my D cream is, but I personally don't suggest taking D by mouth. As a supplement, it is not something I suggest. That's a whole nother video. But I do suggest that you need to get enough D in your body. This time of year in the winter in the Midwest, we're not seeing much sun. And you could get D from foods like raw milk and mushrooms and things, but you kind of need a little bit more than that. So we love our D cream. It is made from cod liver oil. You could definitely just take a spoonful of cod liver oil every day as well. You could ask me about my favorite brand and I could lead you to that. And we have cod liver oil cream. It's very high in vitamin D. It's very high in vitamin A, and it is phenomenal for you. And so you just rub that into your thigh or into your stomach every night before you go to bed, and it is absorbed into your body. And that's a beautiful way to maintain vitamin D and to boost your immune system. Echinacea. So I love herbal tinctures. And echinacea is a wonderful immune boosting herb. And so you just put this tincture into your water, and that can help you get better so quickly because it gives you that much of an immune boost. So I love echinacea. Also, I'm sure that you have seen this before, but you don't know how to say it. I say oscillococcinum. Some people say it very differently than that. But when you open it, you will see a small vial. They tell you to take the entire vial, like 3 times a day. That is not my suggestion. I am a clinical homeopathic specialist, so I am not saying this as a novice, but I am telling you as a professional that when it comes to energy medicine, 1 pill is the same as an entire tube of pills. Now, because these are tinier than the regular size pills in a homeopathic bottle, you might take a small handful, okay? But I also don't suggest that you continue to take it. The point of it is to take it and see if it helps. And then if it helps, you don't have to take it anymore. It's not like Tylenol or Advil or Motrin where you stay on top of it. That's not what you're trying to do. You're just supporting the body and healing itself. And once you feel that the body is healing itself, then you no longer need to take it. Okay, so that's another great one to have. Again, immune boosting foods, garlic, onions, the wild blueberries, oranges, bell peppers, because they're really high in vitamin C. Meat stock as well. Some people like bone broth. Some people don't like bone broth, and so then I suggest meat stock. It's another wonderful option. It's very comforting and warming inside the body. A lot of good protein and nutrients in there. I think that covers everything that we did when we were battling over the last couple of weeks. And obviously, this is not an exhaustive list. There's so much more that you can do, but it can literally be this simple. It can be just food and herb and homeopathic based. Once your body knows how to heal itself, you're just going to give it some added support to do so. Hydration, rest, nutrition, some lymphatic massage, things of that nature. Some people might see this and say, forget that. Why don't I just take Tylenol and be done with it? Or why don't I just take Mucinex and be done with all of that mucus, right? And I understand that in the short term, that is a very quick answer and it does appear to work. But I would challenge you to consider that suppressing symptoms is very different from healing from the symptoms, okay? Just because you've suppressed something, you don't see it anymore, but it doesn't mean that it's gone. And when you heal, it really is gone. And so it doesn't keep coming back time after time. And so that's the beautiful thing about healing, as opposed to a quick fix. It might take a couple of days, but it's so much more worth it to let the body do it so that it doesn't have to do it very often. If you take suppressing over-the-counter drugs or pharmaceuticals, then I have found that you're going to have to deal with things over and over and over, because all you're doing is fighting the body, and you really can't win when you fight against yourself. Okay. The other thing I want to say is that you never know when one of these healing experiences is going to pop up in your life. And so my suggestion is that you keep these basic things on hand in your health arsenal. Case in point, the homeopathic remedy that my daughter needed, I knew she needed it. It fit her symptom picture so beautifully, was a remedy I didn't have. And if you knew what my homeopathic arsenal looked like, you would be shocked that I didn't have this remedy. And so the frustration there is that I ordered it, but then it takes a few days to arrive. And by the time it did, her symptom picture had changed and she no longer needed that remedy. She needed something else at that point. So now I have the remedy on hand for next time, but that's really unfortunate because I really think it could have helped speed up the process for her body to heal itself even quicker. So my suggestion is to get these things and to have them on hand in case you do need them, because when you need them, you are not going to want to run out and get them because you just are not going to feel up to it at that point. So keep them on hand in your home. I think that covers everything. I hope that helps you get through this season at least. And as always, if you would like more guidance on your healing, you are more than welcome to set something up on my site. For those of you that are already my clients and something comes up, don't forget that you are already entitled to virtual sick consults with me. And so for anybody who wants to become an established client, that is a benefit that you would have as well. So I suggest you do so if you would like more guidance along the way. I think that's it, guys. So until next time, be well, be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.